between one bottle, like 2 ferns.
Yeah, it's like 2 ferns, but adjacent 1 bottle.
Just see those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting-a-ting-a-ling. I'm on to lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Looks like all the college kids at the gyms around here.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tactfully Misguided. I'm your host, Patrick. And today, again, I have...
Hunter Lobertini.
This is going to be a Christmas episode.
Mm-hmm. Because we love Christmas.
So, get your fucking eggnog and your Christmassy brew beers.
That's Evan Williams.
Beers. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love America.
I love America. So grab yourself a Christmassy drink and buckle up, Buttercup, for some talking about political tirades and a good solid 3 or 4 good battles that happen on Christmas.
Hell yeah.
So
real battles.
Real battles.
No elves or any of that shit.
Yeah. I mean, there might have been elves. I don't know. A lot of this took place long before our time. There could have been elves there.
Fighting dinosaurs.
Rick and Morty were there somewhere.
Oh, fuck yeah. I love Rick and Morty. Talking about politics. They bring it up all the time, and they are just satirical. They're like a circular firing squad. They're just shooting outwards in all directions. They don't care who they hit.
Oh, that's strong. You want to try some?
Oh, no, thank you. I drink that, I'm going to fucking fall over.
I'm going to fall over.
I definitely do not take my own advice. I'm like, hey, guys, we're about to go do some PT. You're going to get sweaty. Don't be chugging coffee in class. Drink water afterwards. I did none of those things correctly.
I've never done any of those things. I was literally we were talking about that before I left. When I worked in the Army as a custodian, I got 2 armors in, like 2 new guys.
Yeah.
And our staff sergeant was broken as fuck. So he wanted me to go PT him. Mm-hmm. So I got fucking hammered the night before. I downed a fucking 30 rack of Busch Latte.
That's the way to go.
I'm pretty sure I had, I don't think a whole 5th, but a decent amount of Jack too.
Well, that's what you have
until like 4. Yeah. And then I took these bastards out for a fucking 4-mile run at 5. Every fucking mile I was stopping, puking, putting them in the plank. And then that was their first impression of me. That was their first impression of Corporal Johnson was, why is he yelling at me, putting me in a plank, puking, oh, we're running again. All right, I'm back in a plank. Maybe that means he has to puke again. And I just did that for the whole time.
But what is it like to run sober? I don't understand. You're either hungover or you're drunk. Like if I ran sober, I think I'd be kind of upset with myself.
I think I would be dying. I think something would be wrong. Oh, I say that, but I run sober now. The drinking waits till afterwards. I'm not as young as I once was. The dirty 30 corner. Yeah. It approaches. Well, it approaches next year.
Yeah. It's about to slam into you like George Washington crossing the Delaware.
There we go. Good segue.
I broke some ice.
Into the first topic. Broke some ice. Some frigid ice. Yeah. So the first battle we're going to talk about was George Washington crossing the Delaware. I'm a fresh fucking idiot and actually did not realize this until yesterday that was on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Yep.
I knew it was about the time frame. I did not realize it was Christmas Day.
Yeah. And
I was doing research on this.
It was cold. Like a lot of people don't understand. Back in the 1700s, there's no electricity. Like you had fires and people actually had like wool coats to keep themselves insulated. So they didn't have any of these amenities. No cars. You're walking around in like leather shoes. And meanwhile, there's a bunch of guys in red coats trying to fucking kill you. And like we both been on boats in the water, like trying to do tactical stuff, and you're in a fucking track in the water. It's fucking
in a tiny
cold.
Boat.
It's cold. A little bullet magnet.
Did you get your Blue Nose?
What's that?
Your Blue Nose cert?
What's that?
It's the hazing thing on ship. So there's shell backing.
No,
and then Blue Nose is when you go into the Arctic Circle, and it's the Navy thing. So we all got fucking like
blue nosed.
Yeah, we all got like dressed up and stupid shit. Like I was in silkies and fucking war paint, and like they put you in. There's different stages on the flight deck, basically, and you're getting sprayed with the fucking ocean water.
That's kind of gross.
And, like you're standing under a shower, being asked fucking random questions like general orders and fucking what was a quote from Chesty Puller. during fucking Frozen Chosen and like shit like that.
Catch these hands.
Catch these fucking hands, bitch.
And now Chesty would probably punch most of the people that are in our country in the face for being communists.
Most of our higher ups.
Yeah. Woke
Bullshit. But anyway,
it's wild because like even though I did a bunch of visit, board, search, and seizure, I never actually did a pump on a ship. We would always fly somewhere. Now we did do like tactical missions where we'd get on one ship to raid another ship, or we'd we'd push our boats out, parachute in after them, and it was called an AFSB. It was an advanced forward staging base or amphibious forward staging base. But we would do that, which made no sense to me. But I guess you can't land a C-130 on a fucking on a ship, so dump everything out in Connex boxes.
I don't think you could do that on a regular.
We had all the amenities now, like on ships. They're not wooden. It's not like using steam or your fires and stuff using coal or burning dung. Like,
I mean, did you hear that this is a little not off topic, circle back, Jen Psaki.
Whore. Sorry.
Whore. Fucking ginger bitch. Did you hear the latest, it's the latest technology for the Green New Deal, for the Green New Deal or whatever.
Is it eating crickets?
No, it's wind-powered ships. That's the latest technology now.
Are you fucking kidding me? We've come full circle.
Full fucking circle. Back to those times.
Polynesian
I gotta
people,
stop pointing at the problem.
13 to 7,000 years ago, were circumnavigating the globe using the stars and the power of wind. And these cricket-eating fucking idiots have pushed all the way back into it. It's this whole, what is it? The UN and fucking the World Economic Forum. If they had their way with it, we'd be eating crickets and you'd have a fucking sailboat for a car. Like, you'd be doing like one of them hamster wheels to get everywhere. It's just trash.
There would be a lot more physically fit people if we did that, though.
Yeah. Or
that would die young, because that's what running a lot does to you.
Well, I would be okay if like a third of the population that identifies as hardcore left would do that. Just like,
yeah, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
They can bite dirt.
Yeah. Well, I just absolutely despise a lot of these people. But back to that, George Washington.
Yes, we keep getting off topic, but that's what we do. That's what I love. That's what I love about this podcast. That's
Yeah,
we do that.
it's like ADHD, but it's all on.
But it's all on film. We're just filming our ADHD moments.
Pretty much. It's like, I don't know how I would be if I was in a fucking wooden ship, cutting through fucking ice with single fucking round muzzleloader muskets. And
in
these
the
are
dark,
flintlock.
in the cover of darkness, in the wee hours of dawn.
Yeah, with
to
no
go
night
into
vision.
a battle.
Yeah, and it's cold as fuck. There's no heater in your car.
Yeah.
Like, you've got wool blankets, and by the way, those are fucking soaked when you get there.
Oh yeah.
But- And then to imagine you're on the other side of it, is you're these British and Hessian, Prussian mercenaries, and you're just fucking hanging out, and it's like Christmas. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna get shit faced. You're gonna drink a bunch of
be drunk as
booze.
fuck.
You're gonna be around the fire. You're gonna
Feeling
be
the spirit.
snuggling up with your buddy because it's cold as balls outside.
Snuggling up with 4 of them
Yes, it's
In
not
the
gay
same
if you're
si-
cold.
in the same sleeping bag.
But
Okay.
yeah, imagine that. You're both miserable. That's why I think so many atrocities happened back in the day, and they still
Because everybody
kinda
was
do.
everybody was miserable.
And your life expectancy was like 40.
Yeah.
You're just crippled with parasites and like all kinds of crazy things that we don't have anymore. Like
You get one fucking like paper cut
and
you're doomed.
Yeah, you get gangrene, leprosy. You've got all the
fucking bubonic plague makes a fucking reappearance.
What's that shit if you don't eat any vitamins? Rickets and scurvy.
Scurvy, yep.
Yeah.
I have had this TMI. I have had fucking scabies.
Scabies.
Is it scabies?
Scabies is like a.
Is it scabies? It's like
It's a
the little
living
bugs.
organism.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the little bugs. Yeah, I actually got
It's
that
like
from 29 Palms.
Flesh. They're not flesh eating, but yeah, they make.
yeah.
It's like ringworm, but worse.
It was like I had it fucking everywhere,
Yeah,
dude. I would
it's
literally itch my fucking like body till it bled in my sleep. And I got that from my 4-month stint in 29 Palms.
And we had sanitary conditions and like camis and stuff, and these bastards are running around in like leather and wool, and like
Yeah.
Wool sucks. Like, you remember those green wool military blankets that made your skin like itch till it burned? Now you're
All I
dressed
want
in
for
that.
Christmas is that. And typhus.
Well, they're fucking crushing. They're crushing these wooden boats across the Delaware. And up until this point, they had some really bad luck when it came to fighting the British. And a good portion of us winning was that the British sucked and were incompetent. So they brought over the Prussian dudes.
Sounds familiar.
How many dudes did he cross the Delaware with?
2,400.
2,400. You got
In
2,400.
cold as fuck water.
Yeah.
We're gonna
and
go back to that.
Wooden fucking boats. That's wild.
Yeah. So that's one of the battles that happened. Not gonna go too like more in depth on that one because.
Well, they showed up and said, "Surprise, cocksucker," and took everybody
Surprise,
prisoner.
motherfucker!
Surprise,
Ho
motherfucker.
ho ho! Now I have a musket.
And all the Hessians were really sad-faced to become POWs. And then a bunch of them turned over to our side.
Big sad.
Big sad.
Big sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 2. What did I put down for this one? So this was, everyone knows mostly about this one. So it's not really a battle, it's more of like the lack thereof. The Christmas Truce of 1914.
Boom.
When the French and the Germans laid down their arms and cuddled through the night, had snowball fights, shared each other's liquor.
They did something super gay called soccer.
Did they actually play soccer?
They played soccer in No Man's
So
Land.
I did not know this. Also figured this out when I was researching. I thought it was all along the Western Front. It was not. It was only in Franklin.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, Franklin? Franklin. Franklin? Franklin. Franklin? Was it Franklin? Yes.
Well,
But basically, so they laid down their arms and then everyone else kept fucking fighting through the night.
yeah.
So I wonder if like everyone else that caught wind of this and like the other towns and shit on both sides, one, I wonder if like they tried to do the same thing. They'd be like, ah shit, these guys are doing it. Like, why the fuck are we still fighting? And you just got dudes going out into no man's land with a soccer ball and they get fucking schwacked. Well, guess we're not doing that.
Up until this point, the last major war they had was the Franco-Prussian War, because Prussia existed before Germany, and it was in the 1870s, and the Germans kicked the ever-living shit out of the French, and they hated each other. But this is decades, this is generations after that.
This is generations removed.
So
from
they
that.
don't have that hatred like my grandparents' generation hated the Japanese because of World War II, and my uncle's generation hated the Vietnamese for the Vietnam War. They're removed. So like when you go to Japan, our age, you're like, cool, hentai, tentacle porn,
Tentacle porn.
just all this weird shit, and like some strange stuff happens after you take 2 atoms to the face, but. You look at what happened throughout history. So the French and the German Empire basically got out of the trenches, and they had a real human moment. Bear in mind, like weeks before, 26,000 French were killed in one fucking day. Like the absolute human carnage, the violent overload, the cerebral crushing of being in the trenches in the most disgusting, horrible environments, rats, wounded people everywhere, diseases, swine flu, just ripped through it, dysentery. So you're shitting your brains out. You've got fucking mud up to your fucking elbows. There's dead people everywhere. Like the bodies,
dead people stacked as fucking sandbags.
and they're fucking rotting. And
like the trenches got deeper because the bodies got fucking higher.
yeah, and the crazy shit is like in the middle of that they had a human moment where they're like, bro, okay, like, time out. I got a ball, you got a ball. We got wine, Glühwein, which is just mulled wine. It's really good, served warm.
Never had that.
Yes.
That sounds good, though.
I grew up in Germany, so 10 years, and they had stuff called Kinderbier and Glühwein. And Glühwein is a mulled cider. I think it's called a mulled cider, but it's almost... The best way to describe it is it's a mix. It's like a wine and between a wine and a cider, and it's sweet. And you serve it really warm. That are like in steam. It's like you had a hot toddy.
Actually, I haven't.
So
It sounds like blasphemy that I have not had that, but
Cape Fear Spirits and Beer has the best fucking hot toddy in Wilmington. So if you ever get a chance, roll down there. They have it. They got a little, it's like a electric kettle thing that's filled with hot toddy mix, but it's basically apple cider and booze, and it's great.
Yeah, because I remember one of the Hispanic ladies that I worked with at Manheim when I first got out. She talked about that as like that was a common thing as a remedy for illness was hot toddies.
Yeah. A little bit of alcohol, thin the blood, get rid of some of your bitch. You got a lot of bitch.
You got a lot of bitch in you.
But they
take a chancla to the face.
They straight up went out there in no man's land, fought this horrific battle. I mean, we're talking like thousands of men, shoulder to shoulder, walking into machine gun fire. You had landmines, artillery. This is the advent of aerial warfare. They had fucking Zeppelins.
The first fucking appearance of tank warfare.
It's wild shit, and like they had a pretty nice moment. And that's why that could only really happen in World War I, because prior to that, there wasn't much.
One of the notes that I took down for this too, and like one of the reasons I wanted to bring up specifically that moment and that truth, and the fact that two opposing forces that had bad blood for fucking generations were able to sit there and come together in the Christmas spirit. You know, back then that was something that was celebrated it was a common thing among all of Europe, or most of Europe, America. Nowadays the Christmas spirit is buying fucking an Xbox, for an undeserved Xbox for some whiny fucking brat kid, and that's the Christmas fucking spirit, playing into the corporate fucking greed.
Yeah.
And how much money can they make off of this fucking holiday? It's not about a fucking Christmas spirit anymore. It's not about goodwill towards men, which then it was. Back then it was. And that's why that moment was so special, was the fact that it was, it was a shared thing between opposing forces.
Well, you also have to put in
mostly everybody else around them was probably like, you fucking pogues.
The woke virtue signaling that goes on with any holiday. Like, I don't dread holidays. I used to. I was like, I don't want to have to talk to anybody. I just want to kind of sit home, do nothing. And then as I became an adult, I was like, now I have to interact with people. And now I just dread looking on Instagram or Facebook and just seeing all these piece of shit, guilty fucking rich white women that are just like, oh my God, did you hear about this? This is the reason behind Christmas, and it's racist. And I'm just holy fuck, dude.
You can sit here and try to fuck up a perfectly good children's, because it started as a children's story in fucking Germany.
I got lectured about fucking plastic bottles. I got lectured about it.
When?
I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and people were like, somebody was like, do you guys have Nalgene bottles? And I was like, kind of. And they're like, why don't people use more Nalgene bottles? I can't believe it's white supremacy is what they were equating water bottles to. I was like, look, dude, the boogeyman isn't everywhere. Yeah, dude, it's insane. I'm like, we're trying to have a good time, talk about Christmas, and these people are just cancerous. Yeah. And they want to make everybody miserable, and they want their buddies to see that I'm woke too, I'm cool, I'm just like you in that I hate America. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, bro, it's fucking Christmas. Like, go decorate a tree, go get some cool booze that you don't drink the rest of the year. It's cold outside, so you don't have to walk around risking heat stroke. And
just fucking go chill. Just fucking chill.
Yeah.
Chill with the fucking racist bullshit. Not everything's fucking racist. Just fucking stop. Stop trying to ruin shit.
Yeah.
Stop trying to ruin everything.
It's a lot of it are these people that are not happy with their own life, and they make everybody else fucking miserable.
Well, it's a victim mentality too. Everyone wants to play victim, when most of the people that are like screaming this bullshit aren't fucking victims, have never been fucking victims,
and they don't care.
They have no actual tie to fucking. All right, I'm only gonna bring this up one time. Fucking BLM. Most of the people that were involved in that cash grab bullshit.
Buy large mansions? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the people involved with that weren't even fucking black. They were little fucking white kids with pink and fucking purple hair running around screaming oppression.
Communists.
When what the fuck do you know about that at all? Why are you like what the fuck?
Billions of dollars were taken.
Yeah.
Billions. And people got...
I don't want to like dive too much into that.
Well, those same people are the same people that were getting they were called useful idiots. They were the ones that got chewed the fuck up in warfare because you could easily brainwash them. You could brainwash entire generations of French and English and German young men and women and be like, this is our enemy, 1984, war is peace, and that kind of whole thought process. You can apply the same thing. I always thought to myself, I was like, how the fuck did the Nazis be able to do that? Millions of Germans to do that. And I was like, fuck, man, look at Twitter.
Fucking Twitter.
Boom. And you have these people that are just, they're so ingrained into this idea and they don't understand what it is. And they just want to be woke. But yeah, so like they got out in no man's land. There was some there were at the time some mines, but they were primitive in comparison. But it was pretty cool. It did not happen the next year, I can tell you that, because they fucking hated each other and people were fucking killing each other
because
all the time.
It only occurred during the first year of the war. Once time went on and they realized, we ain't going home by Christmas.
Well, the brutality.
And that was
So
I think numbers wise on both sides, I think World War II had more casualties because there was more. There was more of a spread out area for a theater of war versus World War I. But I think out of any war in history, World War I was arguably one of the most brutal. Was the most brutal, just based on because of the type of warfare that it was.
Yeah, it was just carnage, and you know. You'll find that there are militaries out there that can be in like the most horrible situation and will keep fighting. And you look at like right now, the Ukrainians, they're in these fucking mud trenches. Everything's frozen. They have no electricity and they're kicking the shit out of these Russians.
Yep.
And we can take it back even further. Like you look at the Battle of the Bulge.
That's on here too. Stalingrad.
There's
a whole list that I got in here about that.
Stalingrad was an insane battle when you look at how everything went down and how the Germans basically fucking sunk their entire war by just going after that.
Yep. One of the things that I found interesting about that was the Germans were, all right, so I got the date in here that they fucking surrendered, right? So, no peace. They surrendered on Holly Jolly 1942, so December fucking 25th, 1942. They were so fucking starved that they ate a cumulative of 12,000 animals.
Yep.
Include like their own horses and shit.
Yep.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
This on the web.
Fuck you.
Arabian Cobra. Fucking shut up.
Is it Thai whiskey, Cobra whiskey?
No, it was something about a cobra becoming like the 12,000 animal on the ark or something.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's cool. Didn't happen on Christmas, but yeah.
It didn't happen on Christmas. Fun fact, though.
The crazy thing about Stalingrad is that it pushed the Soviets into overdrive when it came to innovating certain things. Like they put more women in combat. They created entire sniper divisions. It was wild. The repercussions of which Stalingrad has to be one of the worst urban warfare battles when you're talking about room to room, house to house. Hue was a good example of how to do it properly. Fallujah was an even better example of how to do it properly. And Stalingrad's what happens when you have Timmy and Jimmy with fucking samurai swords going after each other. You know, the two disabled people in South Park. Just imagine those two slap boxing with like razor blades, and that's what you had, was just this absolute abortion of a German offensive. And the Russians are so fucking dumb that they're killing more of their own men than the Germans are. There's just so many of them, hordes. And Enemy at the Gates, really good movie. There's a little inaccuracy here and there, but it's pretty fucking spot on. The only other people to do that kind of shit was the Chinese in the Korean War. They had entire units that just had flags, like pointy flags. Yeah. And they were like charging machine guns. I'm talking like
with
hordes. It looks like the Battle of the Deep in fucking Lord of the Rings. Like all the orcs flowing in. Just, yeah, they're orcs. They're just, you
with
know.
fucking flags.
And fortune cookies.
Charging into the teeth of machine guns.
Yes.
Okay.
And there were multiple.
I mean, not my method. That's not what I would do, but
there's multiple instances of machine gunners being like, I just can't take it anymore, and they close their eyes and they just keep doing this. They just get and their A gunners feeding them, and they're just literally chewing bodies up.
fucking mowing them down.
And that's what blows my mind, because we're Americans, we value our life, we value our subordinates' life. Like, the one thing that I love about our military is, if you have a good leader, that leader cares about what his men think about him. Whenever a leader says, I don't care what anybody thinks about me, fuck you. Yes, you do. You're either a sociopath or a liar if you actually don't care about that. But
that can also become a, I'm not gonna say downfall, but kind of,
it's a weakness.
It can become a weakness.
Yeah.
Because especially, like, that's one thing.
If you want them to like you too much.
As an NCO, if you wanted them to like you too much, you would get fucking walked on.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep.
By your fucking troops.
Yep.
And if you were the opposite end,
you would wind up with a grenade in your sleeping bag.
Yeah. I'm not going to name any names here, but we had I had the whole spectrum. As, like, when I was a corporal, I had other corporals that were the fucking pit bull. You cannot approach them. They're total fucking douchebags. It was brute force all the time. Yes.
I'm on the spectrum.
You're on the spectrum?
But no, I absolutely...
And then there was the lazy fucks.
Yeah.
But a lot of the corporals I had just did not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I was the middleman between the two. I tried to be the middleman between the two. I tried to be aggressive, but also approachable, and also try to come at situations in a different manner and, like, actually solve fucking problem instead of putting it off, being lazy about it, or just saying, get the fuck out of my face, you fucking boot.
Well, the thing is, you care.
Yeah, and that's exactly, like, that's to round back into that.
Those German commanders and Russian commanders did not give a fuck about their guys.
No.
The Chinese, the Japanese, in Western military, we're thought, like, our thing is to keep each other alive. We're trying to prevent large amounts of casualties. Even today, the Russians don't give a fuck.
No, they don't.
They're like, here's uniforms, you go into the front. And
here's a Mosin.
Yeah, and it's literally using Mosins and wearing those steel pot helmets.
Yeah.
Fucking wild.
It's baffling.
Yeah.
To be honest, I really think fucking Putin has lost his gourd.
There's a disconnect. People are not understanding what's going on.
And we've talked about that a few times, about, like, one of the biggest reasons that they're losing is they don't have an NCO corps either. Yeah. And they're going off Red Army tactics from back then. They also are not applicable anymore.
They don't have beef jerky.
If they had beef jerky, that would help.
Probably. That and Otis Spunkmeyers. That's what kept everybody going in Afghanistan. Beef jerky. Jack Links, fucking Otis Spunkmeyers. Yes, Rippets. Bro.
I had 2 of those this weekend, and I walked into my dad's house and I was like, the official... I would like you to know that you are in the presence of the official sponsored energy drink of war.
Yeah.
Of Iraq and Afghanistan.
I went to the Saigon market down here. It's the East Asian market, and they've got some wild stuff. It's where I like to do all my cooking. But they had an energy drink called Sting. It's got a little scorpion on it. And I remember I was in a jungle on an island in the southern Philippines, 2009. Taken had just come out with Liam Neeson, and it was fucking tits. And we had, like, a tough book. You know those fancy tough books that you could have touch screen, and they're kind of blocky. And we had a poncho.
Please tell me that's what you watched.
We were watching Taken on a Panasonic tough book that I think we were using it to, like, work UAVs. It was the base station for UAVs. And so we put the DVD player, we had an external hard drive, DVD player, this thing. Just watching the Filipinos do their operations, we'd be able to direct things, send pointers to them, and other cool stuff that we'll talk about later, but in another episode. But we're sitting under a poncho in the jungle, at night. It's fucking hot as balls because it's a fucking tropical island in the South Pacific, and under this poncho with a generator, and we had Taken on DVD, and we're watching it off a Panasonic Toughbook, and I'm just drinking this stuff, and I'm like, I fucking love this movie! I fucking love this drink! And anyways, I'm sitting in class today, and I'm just drinking this thing, and I'm like, I feel so alive!
I'm gonna fuck all of you up!
Dude. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of sodomy? Okay, so one of the other... Hong Kong.
Yes. Phooey.
So another one. So I put in... Oh, there's a few that we skipped on this. All right, so there was a whole thing called No Peace on Earth.
No Peace on Earth?
Yes.
It sounds like a black metal band.
It
Elaborate.
does.
What it's No
that
Peace
sounds
on
like
Earth.
a great band.
Or a
man.
screamo band.
So it was technically...
They fence with dildos.
It was basically... Where they fence with dildos.
It was basically...
With big-ass black
black dildos.
So during World War II, neither side paid much attention to Christmas because they were all fucking fighting each other and trying to kill each other. And there were some pretty bad battles that happened during that. We already talked about Stalingrad.
Yep. Eating all the horsies.
There was one that happened. So this was in 1939. So Soviet troops launched a pre-dawn attack on the Finnish on Christmas morning.
The Winter War.
Yes, the Winter War.
Fucking brutal.
That one. And then Christmas also saw the running fight in the mid-Atlantic between a German cruiser and escorts of an Allied convoy. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of when I went on rapid fire of different battles that happened, because there was a fucking lot that happened during World War II on Christmas.
Oh yeah.
This one was in 1941. It was a 12,000 man British garrison in Hong Kong that finally surrendered to the Japs after 17 days of fighting leading up to that. 3,000 civilians were killed and 2,000 Allied troops were killed by Christmas Day.
There was one wild thing about the Japanese offensive in Hong Kong and Singapore, and it was more towards Singapore. It's kind of further down.
Yeah.
But they captured a British garrison that had 70 times the amount of troops.
I think
the Japanese had bicycles. They didn't have any tires. So you had thousands of these Japanese soldiers on these metal rims going down the streets. And the soldiers thought it was tanks or some sort of something that was bigger than a fucking bike, like a Schwinn.
But there were so many of them.
There were so many of them. And the Allies straight up boloed that shit. Like fucking Biden's teleprompter. They fucked it all up.
Like Biden's teleprompter.
Yeah. It's like Ron Burgundy from fucking Anchorman. That's exactly... That's our commander-in-chief.
Anything that gets put on the fucking teleprompter.
What have we told you? Anything on there, Ron will read.
Biden will fucking kind of read.
2 words. Made in America.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So that one, actually, that was the same one then. Or it sounds like it would have been the same one.
Yeah.
That's fucking it. So that's kind of interesting too, because like one of the things that we were always taught with tracks when like moving in any formation at night.
Yeah.
Limit the amount of like not foot traffic, but the amount of like tracks, right? Yeah. So you would like have 2 tracks perfectly aligned with each other.
Yeah.
And we had this thing whenever we were in a defensive posture, that every hour on the top of the hour, you would have to start the tracks.
Yeah.
And you would have to start them all at the same time.
We did the same thing with Humvees, but Star Wars captured it the best. A New Hope. Ben, Obi-Wan Kenobi. He says, the Sand People, they always follow in the same tracks to hide their numbers.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
how they knew that those were Imperials, because they were all spread the fuck out.
Yep.
But yeah, we had to do that. We J-hook into a loiter site, and we'd stop all the vehicles at once, and we'd start all the vehicles at once. We'd wagon up.
Short counts.
Yeah, we would do that when we were fucking doing like hard hits in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
For real. That was fucking cool. Now,
I'm honestly very surprised that I remembered that it was called short counts.
It's fucking dope.
Yeah, I'm very surprised I remember that.
And yeah, at least we have vehicles. The Russians have actually supplied the Ukrainians with 2 divisions of tanks. The Ukrainians have lost about...
Wait, the Russians?
Yes.
The Russians gave.
The Russians have lost, abandoned so many fucking tanks that the Ukrainians
Now
have
have
2
tanks.
divisions
Of
they've been
T-14s.
they've been losing. I think it's like 6 to 10 tanks 6 to 10 tanks a day. The Ukrainians have been losing 2, but the Ukrainians have been able to backfill all the ones that have been blown up by capturing Russian ones, and then they have a surplus. They were able, so it's crazy. You would think you're looking at a military map and you're like, man, the war's going on. These units, you look at the army tactical groups that Russia has, and these guys are fucked up. We're going to disintegrate them. They're going back, and you're removing all these units. And somebody somewhere is just like, how the fuck did they just get 2 tank divisions? Like, when the fuck did we get ice cream?
What the fuck? Well then. Fucking, god damn. God. Dude, that whole fucking... we differ in some opinions on it, as far as... I don't think that I mean, it's the same with any war.
Yeah.
No war is justified anymore.
Yeah.
Anymore. I think, honestly, since the Vietnam ending, nothing that we have done has been, a reason. It hasn't been because of people were dying and we needed to help.
I think
There's
the first
always-
Gulf War. The first Gulf War.
There's always a tie.
Yeah.
There's always a political tie. There's always some fucking reason now. And that's not to say I honestly don't give a shit, because I wanted to go fight.
Dude.
I wanted to go fight and I wanted to go kill people. That's why I joined. That's why I fucking wanted to go to war.
We need to do an episode on the Iran-Iraq War.
Yes.
There's corpse highway, dudes charging tanks on horseback. It's wild.
Well, yeah, you were there.
It's wild. So
Wait, I thought you were in Iraq.
no, Afghanistan. Marsoc never served in Iraq until recently, up until Operation New Dawn or whatever it was. And there was they actually had a couple casualties there. One of them was a dude I named Pongo. Pongo. He was an awesome fucking dude.
That was still another beer.
We were jump masters together. I'm gonna fill up this water real quick.
Hang on.
Deep thoughts with Lobo. Do gay dudes get turned on by their own wieners? What's another good fucking... did we talk about Battle of the Bulge?
No, that's what we were getting to.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The last one is Hitler's 7-day-old Ardennes offensive finally losing its grip on Christmas Day in 1944, where the Allies halted Hitler's 2nd Panzer Division on the banks of the Mouzon River.
In Brussels. That was in Belgium. So I grew up in Europe, and I got to visit a lot of places. I visited Verdun. That was wild. Shit still doesn't grow there. They had an entire building. You went in, and half the building is glass filled with bones.
What?
Yeah. It's fucking wild. I'll find a picture of it. But I was a little kid, and I was like, fuck, that's a lot of bones. And
That's a lot of bones.
And
fuck.
The forest out there is not like what you would think. It is thick and really rugged. And
Well, I figured it would be thick, but...
everywhere. Thick
Okay.
with 3 C's.
I need to figure out this, the editing thing with this, so, I can make that look...
There.
make it look fucking...
We could do the do. We could do, there's just some really good ones, when Maverick yells, yeehaw! Or no, it's Goose.
Goose.
Yeah. Yeehaw!
Did you see that one? Did you see
The new one?
Yeah.
We saw it. No, I saw it with Jameson
Yep.
and Jesse and their significant others.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie. Hollywood did not disappoint in that.
No, they didn't. They did.
Tom Cruise is still
did good.
gorgeous. Stunning.
He is an asshole, however.
Yeah. Everybody, technically kind of
Well, I met one of the guys at the shop that was on the ship that they were filming on.
Yeah.
And it was one of the Navy guys that was on there. You could not get fucking... If you looked at Tom Cruise, his fucking dudes would come yell at you. He would tell them to come fucking like yell at you. He wouldn't do it himself.
Yeah, he's 5'6".
But he's very. I'm fuck you. I'm 5'7".
No.
7. My license says 7.
He's 5'6", and he's really concerned about his height, which is indicative of somebody that has.
He's got a
sort
small
of
fucking
disorder. Yeah, probably
That's
a
what it
micro
is.
penis.
He has a fucking little dick syndrome.
He's trapped in the
Sorry,
closet.
Tom Cruise, but I mean, maybe just don't be an asshole.
Help me, Tom Cruise.
Help me, Oprah Winfrey.
Help me, Jewish God.
Help me, Allah.
I love it.
I ordered taquitos. I paid for them.
The Battle of Bulge was crazy because the Americans.
I love that you keep going back on topic.
It's my opposite ADHD.
Just so
It
randomly.
happens. It just happens. Like I did not do well in interrogation at steer school because they would ask me a question and I would stumble, and then they'd ask me another question and I'd answer the first question. And honestly, I wasn't trying to be funny, but they would crack up because
you would act like there was a delay.
Yeah, well, there was a delay. I mean, I was tired. I hadn't eaten. I probably had hemorrhoids. Everything sucked. It was cold. Like, I don't recommend. 10 out of 10, not having a good time.
Dear diary.
Dear diary.
Steer school sucked.
Doing sad face with my own poop in the inside of the fucking prison cell.
I was cold.
Joke's on you. I couldn't shit because we didn't eat anything.
Or you eat too many MREs.
And you get cork butt. You can't poop.
Yeah, and then you bust the porcelain throne. In half
And we're fucking idiots. Like, we will drink and we won't get hungover, and you're hungover. You'll eat all these MREs and then you'll hit Taco Bell or Angelo's or Five
blow
Guys.
it the fuck out. Yep. That's the method. So
it's how you cleanse yourself.
You have to eat MREs so you don't shit. I hated shitting in the field.
Yeah, because it came
it.
out like a mix of cork and gum and cement. Like you could put your turd in a sock and kill somebody with it.
I think one of the biggest reasons I hated it was, and this sounds stupid, but in MCT, when you're doing the fucking BSA thing, the 3-day fucking op at the end, the fucking Finex or whatever the fuck they call it, I went over the line to go take a shit in the middle of the night and got caught with my pants down when we started fucking taking fire. Mm-hmm. So I'm like fucking running back with my fucking shit hanging off. I've got my E-tool in my hand and like fucking trying to scream out the fucking challenge and pass and shit.
Tripod!
Fucking me, goddammit!
Not many people are
shit.
so...
I got fucking a turd hanging out of my ass that didn't finish coming out.
Joke's on them. Plenty of people will assault a position with their pants around their ankles.
But no, like I just fucking hated it. So yeah, I would clog the fuck out of myself. I did eat ramen in the field. I did get to the point where I did that.
Yeah.
Because I had not a jet boil, but I bought like a little $20 Primus stove.
Yeah.
That goes on top of a jet boil thing, and
Yeah.
I'd use my canteen cup.
Yep.
And just make ramen that way instead of all these fucking losers that go out here and spend $100 on a jet boil.
Well, look, one of the craziest things was in Afghanistan, they had the first strike MREs, which I was fucking retarded and didn't know that you're supposed to eat 1 MRE a day.
Yeah, that's all the calories for. Wait, what?
Yeah, we were eating like 3 of them.
No,
3 of them.
Yeah, that's what we still did.
No, the first strike ones, the ones that are meant it has like 3 main meals. It was to give you 1 meal.
Oh,
and it's got like 70,000 calories. We were eating those 3 times a day.
How did you not get fat?
We were lifting a lot of weights. And we were also going out on some missions. And the coolest thing was they had the cold weather ones that it was like ramen. It boiled these things. You boiled it and you put hot water in it. It was fucking tits. Our EOD tech actually wound up ordering them because he had like some sense. He was the pay agent or the field ordering officer for the team, so he was like the bean counter. And he ordered all kinds of good shit for the team, whereas a lot of teams are like, we're a steward of resources, we don't need that, and they just don't want the headache of justifying why they purchase stuff.
By the way, this is not dip. I did stop dipping 2 months ago.
What is it?
It's peach pouches.
Peach pouches.
Yeah.
Back off.
Yeah. One of my customers gave me 2 cans of this to. I quit cold turkey and I had no issues. To be honest, I've been doing it for fucking 10 years.
Oh yeah, we went and grabbed tacos that one night over at Flytrap. When
I was because my mouth was all.
Yeah,
fucked
you're
up.
like my mouth is all fucked up.
My mouth is fucked up.
Meanwhile,
I sucked on too many
Yes!
Meanwhile, I'm putting in nicotine, and you were just like,
I'm staring at you like a fucking idiot right now.
like Homer when he sees a beer. You're like, oh,
Start twitching. Violently.
Violently. Talk about violently. Getting fucking like stuck in the Belgian forest. It's sub-zero temperatures, and the Nazis are just running at you. They're just coming right at you like the blue-haired mob on Twitter.
Yeah, I can't imagine fighting in a worse fucking area, to be honest. So, after my little vacation here, right? So, well, I mean, okay. I guess I say that because this was more recent to me, but hiking through the, like in the mountains in Colorado and shit. Gotta turn the ball facing frontwards. So, between that, and then, you know, I can't fucking forget about the winter package that I did at fucking Bridgeport.
Sucks ass. Fuck that
Oh
place.
man, we were
Beautiful in the summertime.
the issue with us when we did our package there, and this ties back into the topic, but that's why I like doing this, because we bring up a topic and then we just kind of like
the shit topic or the
actual no not the shit topic, but the topic about fighting in the Ardennes.
Oh, I thought you meant Emery.
Like Battle of the Bulge, like fighting in the Ardennes and
Oh yeah.
like that area, like the shit that they had us doing, because one, the Red Hats just gave up on us, to be honest, because they were trying to teach us shit, but
like,
Second Tracks is like, nah, we're gonna do fucking grunt shit. Fuck you. Like, we were there to learn because we were about to go on deployment in the fucking Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
So we were like there to learn how to fucking survive. Which all I learned from that was how to boil water.
Pine nettle tea.
I really
needle
did
tea?
learn. I learned how to fucking probe for avalanches. Did learn that. Treat for hypothermia, and that's because one of our guys got it.
You just drink alcohol. Everybody knows this.
They just drink alcohol.
Yeah, just drink alcohol.
Just drink alcohol.
Works for all the homeless bums.
There was no homeless bums in Colorado, the area we were in, because it's too fucking cold for them to survive.
Yep.
At night, it was fucking 4 degrees.
Meanwhile, we have a little encampment down here.
Yeah, I kept mentioning that to people when I was there, like that they were lucky that they didn't have to deal with homeless fuckers.
Yeah.
But back to that.
Homeless
you know,
by fucking choice.
Yeah, it's easy pay for.
Yeah, there's a difference between that and somebody who's fucking 1073. If you're mentally incapable of it,
Which there are a few of them.
and which they probably have pretty cool shit stories too. Just pooping out in the street.
Just right in the street.
Yeah.
Raping bitches at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday in front of the library and shitting in front of Front Street. Yeah.
And the needles. It's like,
The needles.
oh, come all ye faithful, but just with fucking hypodermic needles and God knows what, Hep C and shit.
But yeah, fucking like hiking and doing that shit through there, because like we ended up going on patrols. We detained a bunch of fucking rangers, like army guys that were out there role playing as Russians in BVs. And dude, we're shaking these motherfuckers down, like, and I'm leading the interrogation on them, like while we're fucking searching the vehicle and shit. And I'm like, I got this dude on the ground. I'm like fucking in his face. I'm like, do you have any fucking nicotine? Because I was almost out. I was basically out of fucking dip. And I'm just like, I knew the PX back at the fucking base camp.
Yeah.
It got raided
Yeah, it
by
always
the
does.
fucking POGAS unit that was with us. That literally after 2 days on the fucking mountain, their colonel got AWS, so they went back to base camp for the rest of the fucking time. They didn't even finish the package, and there was a really bad winter storm that came through. So
Luck
we're
would
the
have
only,
it. Yeah,
we're
luck
the
would have
idiots.
it, you guys
The
would be the ones
grunts
there.
left because of the storm.
Yeah.
They went back to base camp. We didn't.
Yeah.
We stayed. They all got BV'd out of our location because they were with us at one point. The grunt unit got fucking BV'd down. CLB, it was a CLB unit. It was a combat logistics.
Oh, okay.
They're the ones that
That's an
went-
oxymoron. Combat logistics.
Yes, it is.
Well,
But they got BB'd back down. They raided the PX. So I'm like, I knew I wasn't going to have tobacco for a while. And I'm just like in this fucking like ranger's face that's like trying to keep character and like trying to act like he doesn't speak English and shit. I'm like, do you have any fucking nicotine? Search the back. I'm just like fucking check the console. pull out the fucking start switch. But like,
Well, you almost
dude,
want
just,
to. You almost
like-
want to commit a war crime sometimes in training.
yeah, and like that area, but just getting back to that topic, like that area of where we set up and did a defense in, and we actually like repelled a quote unquote attack, and it was fucking coming down with snow too, and we're in like snow fighting holes. Like you couldn't. It was a shitty fucking situation. Cold as fuck. Your cover where you're at is very limited, and you can't see 2 feet in fucking front of you.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine fighting as long as they did in the Ardennes without losing your fucking mind and being paranoid as fuck that anything can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
Because you can't see shit.
Yeah.
Especially when it's snowing heavy.
Yeah. You also have to take it back a second and be like, yo, if I can't do this, then the other guys that are trying to fucking kill me can't do it either.
Or maybe they can.
Yeah.
Maybe they're more used to it.
Everybody was just more fucked up than the only reason we really won that was because the Germans were just more incompetent. It was just like incompetence fighting incompetence.
Well, a big reason of that too is because at that point they had so, they were on like straight fucking meth too. Like a lot of the soldiers were on fucking speed or some shit.
They had lost, I think, something around 60% of their fighting capability, and about 50% of that was from the fucking Eastern Campaign fighting the Russians. Like,
yeah, the Russians. If it wasn't for it being a two front war for them, then but I say that, but we were on a 2-front war.
We also
And arguably,
we had allies though.
Well, they did
Albeit it was Canada, Australia, New Zealand, which is kind of like, hey, Montana showed up. Okay.
Cool. I mean, fuck yeah.
A lot of people were like, those are such great militaries. I was like, yeah, when you got 20 people, you can kind of be selective on who you let into your military.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Like, the United States Marine Corps is the same size, actually bigger than the entire United Kingdom's military.
Yeah.
Like, the reason why America's a powerhouse is because we're competent and we have fucking tons of weapons in our economy.
Well, I still wholeheartedly believe that I don't think we're as competent as we used to be. And I hate to say that. And I feel like everyone has said that. I feel like through the years, like every generation looks back on like the next generation of warfighters and they all think the same thing. But I think a big reason why we're not is because of, phones and shit, like TikTok and I feel like we're much softer than we used to be, which we are.
I will say yes and no. I will say one of the biggest problems we have right now is our officer class. Our officer class has been hijacked by the political left, and a lot of the good officers have to lay low and they can't be productive or offensive, or they can't be geared towards a violence of action mindset.
Yeah.
And
I had a conversation with a guy at the shop today, and we were talking about General Berger.
Who's that? Berger?
Or Commandant.
Berger. Oh, that's
Berger.
the one now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad when a bunch of prior commandants and generals like Mattis go into a meeting with him and come out reportedly disgusted.
Yeah.
Because of the direction that he is pushing the Corps in.
Yeah. Got rid of artillery, got rid of tanks.
Wait, they got rid of already?
Yeah, there's no more tube artillery. There'll be tube artillery in the reserves. At least that was what was scheduled. Yeah. So they want to move to HIMARS. And what's kind of a bad thing is, like, we're looking for our near peer fight against China. They have MBTs, they have main battle tanks, they have tracks, they have rocket core.
If we go to war with China, man, it's going to be full on what it was. And so I hate that for us.
We would have a coalition. It wouldn't be just us fighting them, and there would be catastrophic losses of naval proportionality. It would be really bad. And you would have Taiwan involved, you'd have Korea involved, you'd have the Philippines involved, because everybody kind of hates China and needs them economically. But if we ever went to war with them, there's everybody and their mother that fucking hates China. India would fucking... start causing some problems. There were a bunch of countries. Tibet would probably cause some issues. You would have a lot of Chinese that don't want to lose their only son. The problem with China is they have a population bubble.
Yep.
They did the one China policy for too long, and essentially they doomed their society.
Yeah.
So you think about it, you have one male heir. That is your existence in the Chinese society, is for him to grow up and be a doctor. Nah, motherfucker, now he's going to go fight in a war. Oh, I don't want him dying because my lineage will fall off. And also, men outnumber women there.
Yep.
So you have a horrible situation that was set up by communists. Fuck communists. And they wound up
woke ass bitches
killing
out there
tens
that
of
want
millions,
socialism.
tens of millions of their own people. Communism is horrible. When people are like, "Oh, you're a Nazi," I was like, "I'm not a Nazi." Nobody here would ever admit to being a Nazi. It's a horrible thing. But you have people that are like, "Oh, I'm a communist," and it's like, "Fuck you, dude."
Unions were fucking founded by communism.
Pretty much, because the age of unions occurred prior to the Industrial Revolution.
Yep.
And the Industrial Revolution in Europe is when unions shot up. Unions shot
good
up
thing
in the
that actually
late
shows
1800s.
that shows the birth of the unions and shit like that.
I'd say Peaky Blinders.
I was going to say Peaky
Oh,
Blinders.
Peaky Blinders. So
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Peaky Blinders,
because it does show that.
It does.
That's where I kind of figured
it
that out. Other than
romanticizes
you.
it. It romanticizes it. But the problem is communists came to the United States and brought it, because this is the craziest fucking thing. America created the fucking middle class.
Yep.
And then the communists are like, well, we need to have the workers on our side. And that's when they basically infused it. Now they've taken over large portions of our academia, taken over large portions of our government. And these are the same people that will kill tens of millions of human beings for an ideology that has never worked. You look at Cuba, Venezuela. Venezuela has the largest refugee population on earth. Over 6 million human beings have fled Venezuela. It's more than Iraq. It's more than Afghanistan. It's more than Syria. It's more than Ukraine. 6 million human beings have fled that they're displaced persons, either internally or externally. And they're eating, like, they don't have zoos there. People ate the animals. It's fucking horrible. And you've got motherfuckers in Washington, D.C. that are like, I am a avowed communist. Bro, what happened to 20 years ago if you did that, somebody fucking shot your ass?
You should not be a political official at all if you say that you're a communist 100%. At all. We fought fucking wars over this.
Yeah.
We fought for fucking years against communism.
Yep. And they took the easy way in by just basically crawling in. And the fucked up thing is like, everybody's all tough on the internet. Like, they're really tough.
Yeah.
And they talk a lot of shit. But the moment that somebody walks up and puts a knife in your face, you're like, oh, I didn't mean it.
You know where I think this started from?
Where?
I think this started from Xbox Live and RuneScape.
RuneScape.
Do you remember that from back in the day? Like, I guess it would have been like 90s and like early 2000s. Online gaming. Because you like talk shit to other people.
Well, I came to the U.S. in 2001, just before 9/11.
Damn.
That was 14.
I guess I didn't realize that. I didn't realize you came like that, like late in the game.
Yeah.
I say late in the game, like.
I envisioned America.
I was born in '93, so
I envisioned America as this awesome fucking party, but like I showed up late, and
the party got crashed by 2 planes.
Yeah, well, and there's like red Solo cups everywhere, and some dude passed out on the couch, and I have to clean everything up. That's what it felt like. And it wasn't all bad growing up in Europe. You get to see a lot of cool shit, but. You grow to appreciate our Western liberal democracy, a constitutional republic that we have. You grow to appreciate that.
I mean, I just got that from deployments. Even like in Norway, like listening to this is back in 2016. Like the girl I was talking to, like there was a girl I was talking to that was there, and I was baffled at the fact of how much taxes were.
Yeah.
You bought, dude, I bought a snack, a Monster, a Dr. Pepper, and a can of dip. I think I bought a few other little things. Something here that would cost $30.
Yeah.
I paid $140 fucking dollars.
Yep.
Granted, yes, there was an exchange rate between Cronin and everything else.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because of that. It was because of the fucking taxes on everything, because they give out free fucking school. They give out free fucking college. And the chick I was talking to, she confirmed that. She said that. She's like, the reason that taxes are so high is because of that. And she was in college. She didn't even like it. I'm like, okay, very well.
Yeah, we need to change some stuff in this country. A lot of people are like, I want to go to college. Do you want or do you need?
College is dead. The concept behind it is fucking dissipate.
For STEMs fields, yes. For science, technology, engineering, and medicine, and law, 100%. But you want to go get a fucking liberal arts degree in some dumb shit, and you're going to say, can I borrow money from the federal government to pay for this? For me to go and drink and party for 4 years and show up with a piece of paper that doesn't do dick for you to get a job.
Well, for me, it goes beyond that. All college now is, for the most part anyway, any four-year university that you go to, all it is a bunch of fucking professors. Because you know the old saying...
They're scam artists.
You know the old saying, those that can't do, teach?
Teach.
Well, that's what these fucking professors are. And the ideologies that they're teaching, and they're shoving this shit down fucking 18-year-olds' throats that...
It's a pyramid scheme.
They don't know any better.
Yeah,
they're
it's a
18,
pyramid
they're
scheme.
fresh off fucking mommy's titty. Like, they have no real world experience. All they know is what their parents have fucking taught them and what they have briefly seen in life.
Yeah.
And I experienced this because I was 26 with real life experience. More experience than most fucking people. More experience than most of my fucking professors. And, like, to the level of, like, I was fucking homeless when I was a kid. I lived on my own. I've been on my own since I was 17. And it's like, these kids don't know that. They don't know that.
There's a guy
they don't
who
understand.
broke down crying about having to work a 12-hour shift at Starbucks.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know.
And like I reference this a lot. Like Rachel can't, because we'll talk about things, and like she'll get people, applicants that come in and stuff for her job. Half the time they don't fucking show up.
Yeah, because they're getting paid not to.
Like no, they're applying for a job.
Yeah.
They don't fucking show up. Like, oh yeah, I mean, well, unemployment isn't what it was anymore. They did finally get rid of that.
Thank God.
I did benefit from that for about a month
didn't
and a
get a
half.
fucking dime.
Because I got furloughed.
Yeah,
So I didn't get like fired or anything like that. I got like furloughed because of COVID, because of my job, and I started getting unemployment but I only did it for about a month. Month and a half, and I was like, I'm so fucking bored, I have to do something. So that's when I got into the gun business.
I did not get anything because I went from active duty to National Guard, did contracting, had to pay my own taxes out of that. It sucked. And the cool thing is all these people that, shoved you in your house, that forced you to lock down, that forced me to watch my grandfather die from afar. He was dying in a hospital. Nobody could see him. Those same people are like, everything's okay now. Fuck you. It's not okay. Yeah. You just showed me how many people in this country, the people that were like, you have to mask, you have to vaccinate, you showed me who you really are. And at this point, like if something really bad was to happen and God shuts the lights off, you're the first people that are going to probably start eating each other. We will be fine.
Oh, yeah.
We have the ability to survive, to maraud, to have guns, to have a society that's built based upon an actual tangible set of rules in our Constitution. Yep. All these fucking anarchists and communists that are out there reaping the benefits of capitalism and then shitting on it, get fucked. Go play fucking Lord of the Flies on your own little fucking island.
And see how long you last.
Yeah. You'll be fucking crying.
Dude, man, it got so... The whole, like, vaccine thing had gotten even to the point of, like, Tinder.
Yeah.
Tinder had a little stamp
on vaccines.
Like, that said, oh, I'm vaccinated. I'm like, are you kidding me? As if segregation couldn't get any worse.
Yeah.
During it in our country during that time.
Dude.
But all right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. We did go on a lot of
Tangents.
about random shit,
I want to do
literal
something.
shit at some point.
Yes, poop.
Poop
poop.
jokes.
No, Mr. Hanky.
Yeah, no, Mr. Hanky.
And Towley. Let's do war crimes at some point.
Yeah,
I fucking love it. I'm joking. They're bad.
they're bad. I just love the topic.
Unless you're murdering people that are bad. Like, I wouldn't, like, if we murdered a bunch of Taliban, I'd be like, oh shit.
No.
Did I run that stop sign? That's how I feel. Yeah.
Did I just win a free Hilux?
But yeah, I always enjoy this. Like, our ADHD just kind of flows in a circle, and we get
we just-
off and on topic.
Yeah,
It's
we
great.
just go for an hour.
And if you're offended, fuck you.
I approve of the statement.
Yeah, that's all I got.
But yep, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you guys enjoyed our educational Christmas battles that were very random. So hopefully we'll be able to do this again next year. But to that, hope you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, check out the website for updates. I haven't been as consistent with it. I need to be more consistent with it. I did just update it the other day. And we're going to be doing a giveaway, a merch giveaway at the start of the year. So stand by for more information on that. And we'll see you guys in the next episode where we talk about,
I
don't know. We'll figure
crimes.
it out. But
just-
I'm basically bringing him on full time now to do these episodes with me. So
Be happy, be thankful, take pride. Love yourself, love your neighbor, love your country.
be thankful you live here.
Fuck yeah.
With that, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
All right, guys.